Hey, I'm Izzy, and you're listening to Real Quick. In this issue, we talk with 4 different founders about how things went wrong. Check out all the rest of the episodes and other amazing content at In the Works. Honored to be joined by Alex Batdorf of Get Shit Done today. Super excited for her to tell her story and everybody that she's touched and impacted through her entrepreneurial journey. So, Alex, for the people who don't know you, who are you and what do you do?
I'm Alex Batdorf. I'm the Chief Get Shit Done Officer. So my company is Get Shit Done. And really, it's about making sure we are scaling generational impact by ensuring women entrepreneurs are building scalable, sustainable companies.
Alex, what's an overreaction story that you have in your past or currently that you're going through that you'd like to share?
I would say my overreaction story is always around launching something, but understanding that nothing's ever going to be perfect. And so put it out in the world, just get that feedback in real time. Because the coolest thing is when I can see and put it out in the world, it actually puts a burden off of me. And
Mm-hmm.
then now it's time to go to work. Now I get to see how people work with it, hear what they like, what they don't. And then you're building the plane as you go. And that's the thing I'm loving the most right now is we're building alongside our tribe. We don't release shit
Yeah.
without their stamp of approval because it's like I'm not building something that is not going to serve the group that I care most about. So it's not about me. It's about, again, it goes back to why am I doing this? So the moment you can take out this idea that your identity is at risk, take your ego out of it, and just say, I just want to put this in the world and see how people react to it. It's what you did. And now you can keep iterating and making what you did better and better, but it's not who you are.
When founding a company, iteration and testing in general is key, but there's a lot of founders that really struggle with the discrepancy or the lack of knowledge between the VC route or the bootstrap route. Which would you choose, and what are those identifiers for you that really kind of point you down the right direction?
I love this question and I wish more entrepreneurs knew to ask it. But the problem is, I mean, we are products of our environment. Context matters. So we're being told that success looks like going to raise a shit ton of money. One of my favorite things that one of my friends who's a VC, when he first met me, was like, I knew I fucked with you because a founder was pitching a group of investors. And I usually get lumped into the investor group. So I just asked one of the founder, I said, are you really about this life? And they kind of look back like, of course, because every founder thinks if you say, I'm going to be $1 billion company, they think that that's what they should be. But I'm like, are you really about that life? Because most companies won't be a billion. If you're 100 million and profitable, that's kind of dope too, right? So what I always say is really envision what is the ultimate impact you want to make, and let's start there and work backwards. So the number one thing is where do you want this company to ultimately go? Do you want to keep running it? Do you want to exit? How much do you want to exit for? And then also, how quickly do you want to go? And can the business model you have sustain that type of growth? Here's an example of what venture capitalists require when they're looking at companies. So, A, when they say they're in it with you for the long haul, understand that VCs, that means 10 years max because they want to exit. Venture capitalists have their own investors called LPs. They've promised them that they're going to give them a return by a certain date. So typically they want to see an exit between 5 to 7 years, max 10. That looks like in a form of an acquisition, an IPO. They want to see gold standard growth 3x year over year. And they want to see a shit ton, like 10x their money, 10 to 30x their money. Now you got to ask yourself, can my company actually grow at that rate? And just because you get a check from an investor doesn't mean that throwing money at your company to grow will actually make it do that thing. Because if you haven't solved for a model that can sustain that, there ain't enough money in the world from an investor that can make it grow to that level. It's basically just a Ponzi scheme at that point.
So, Alex, we've talked about it a lot, and I have to ask, like, what's the mission behind Get Shit Done and all the entrepreneurs that you're helping on an everyday basis?
We don't even call partners partners at Get Shit Done. I actually even try to stay away from the words allies. And I remember a friend, another founder, had said this. on a panel we did. He was like, allies is becoming like a badge of honor, like Girl Scouts, Boy Scouts. You get a little badge for whatever you did. And now you get so many people that have these badges of honor, but they're not actually doing the work. So we actually call them comrades. And so when I say collaborate, it's that if you're really about supporting women entrepreneurs, it's not about putting up a social media post or what you did for Black Lives Matter and put up that stupid black box. It's about what are you doing every single day, even if it's a small step, to support. And that's being a comrade. That means getting in the trenches. So that can look like simply purchasing from a woman entrepreneur's company, making a connection for her. If you have, a position at a company where you have a particular expertise, saying, hey, like, I'm happy to just like jam out with you for 30 minutes. Let's go. Like, that goes so far. So I would say be a comrade by collaborating with women entrepreneurs. Don't just talk about it, be about it.
Real quick, what's the last book you've read?
Originals.
Real quick, what should a new entrepreneur know about their journey?
You won't have all the answers, so enjoy figuring it out.
Thanks for listening to Real Quick. In this issue, we talk with 4 different founders on when things go wrong. Check out all the rest of the episodes and other amazing content in this issue of In the Works.